In Ukraine's war zone, the sudden reappearance of Russia's Tu-160 strategic bomber, NATO codename Blackjack, known as the White Swan, signals a major shift in the conflict's dynamics. This imposing aircraft with its distinctive variable sweep wings and thunderous engines is a rare sight in active combat, making its presence all the more significant. For the first time in over a year and a half, Russia has committed its crown jewel of long-range aviation to active combat operations. The Tu-160, often seen as a symbol of Russian military might, is now being used in a direct and visible way, marking a notable escalation in Russia's approach to the war. These bombers are usually reserved for nuclear deterrence, not conventional strikes, making their use a clear and deliberate escalation. The decision to deploy such a strategic asset for conventional missions highlights the seriousness with which Russia views the current battlefield situation. Their deployment suggests Russia is adapting to battlefield realities, perhaps responding to increasingly effective Ukrainian air defenses, or seeking to send a powerful message of enduring firepower to both Ukraine and the West. The Tu-160's advanced avionics and speed make it a formidable platform, capable of launching cruise missiles from hundreds of miles away. With both sides facing equipment shortages and attrition, using such a rare and expensive asset is a calculated risk. It raises important questions about Russia's confidence in its conventional forces and the state of its military resources. Is this a sign of strength or a hint that Russia's arsenal of more conventional bombers and missiles is being stretched thin? Is this a bold show of strength meant to intimidate, or a sign that more conventional options are running low? The answer may reveal much about the current state of the Russian military and its future intentions. The Tu-160's return is more than a single strike. It's a window into Russia's evolving military strategy, its industrial capacity to maintain and modernize Cold War-era arsenals, and its willingness to use its most advanced assets in a high-stakes conflict. This move offers crucial insight into the Kremlin's thinking, the pressures facing Russian commanders, and the evolving direction of the conflict. As the war grinds on, the world will be watching to see what the next move will be and what it means for the future of warfare in the region. Even before the Tu-160's combat return, Russia was quietly amassing bombers at airbases near Ukraine. Bases like Olenya, Engels II, and Dyagalevo became hubs for Tu-160S and Tu-95MS Bears, forming a ring of aerial power. Forward-basing these bombers slashes response times and keeps Ukrainian defenses on edge, amplifying the psychological threat. At one point, nearly 30 strategic bombers were stationed at these bases, a significant share of Russia's operational fleet. Moving these massive aircraft and their support crews is a logistical feat, signaling serious intent. This buildup enables rapid, large-scale missile strikes and complex operations, overwhelming defenses through sheer volume. The bomber's presence is both a practical threat and a tool of strategic coercion. Russia's methodical buildup set the stage for the dramatic combat sorties we're seeing now. The Tu-160's participation in the November missile attack marked its first confirmed combat use in over 550 days, a rare and highly calculated move that drew immediate attention from military analysts worldwide. The decision to deploy such a strategic asset is never taken lightly, and this event broke a long period of operational silence for the White Swan. With only about 15 Tu-160SS currently in service, each aircraft is considered a high-value asset, meticulously maintained and usually kept far from direct threats. Their scarcity means that every mission is weighed carefully, and their presence on the runway signals a significant shift in strategy. Their sudden reappearance in active operations could be interpreted as a bold show of force, or perhaps as a response to dwindling alternatives in Russia's arsenal. It may also reflect a desire to remind adversaries of Russia's long-range strike capabilities. The strike itself involved several bombers, but each carried relatively few missiles, suggesting a strategy of careful munitions management. This approach hints at the importance of conserving advanced weaponry for future contingencies, rather than expending it all at once. Russian commanders now face the challenge of balancing the need for immediate impact with the necessity of preserving these prized bombers for future, potentially more critical operations. Every sortie is a calculated risk, weighing potential gains against the risk of loss. Deploying the Tu-160 is not just a military maneuver, it's also a powerful message to both domestic and international audiences. It signals that Russia remains resilient, technologically advanced, and willing to use its most sophisticated tools when the stakes are high. The White Swan's flight serves as a stark reminder of its dual role, not only as a formidable weapon of war, but also as a potent symbol of national pride and power, embodying decades of Russian aerospace achievement. Whether this event marks the beginning of a new operational phase or remains a singular demonstration, its significance cannot be overstated. The world's military observers are keenly analyzing every detail for clues about future intentions. As the world watches closely, the question remains, does this signal a coming escalation, or is it a carefully measured show of strength designed to influence perceptions and deter adversaries? Only time will tell how the White Swan's rare flight will shape the evolving conflict. While flying combat missions, Russia is also transforming the Tu-160 into the Tu-160M, a thoroughly modernized strategic bomber. The upgrade is sweeping digital cockpits, advanced avionics, and new navigation and communication systems. The Tu-160M gains new weapon controls, enabling it to launch the latest cruise missiles with greater precision. New, more powerful NK-3202 engines boost range and performance, while advanced electronic warfare suites improve survivability. This overhaul is about more than hardware. It's a bet on the enduring value of manned bombers in modern warfare. The Tu-160M serves as a bridge to the future, blending a proven airframe with cutting-edge tech. Russia's investment in this program signals its intent to keep strategic aviation relevant for decades. The White Swan's modernization is central to Russia's long-term military vision. Reviving Tu-160 production has been a colossal challenge for Russia's defense industry. Decades-old manufacturing techniques like vacuum welding massive titanium parts had to be relearned from scratch. Russia invested heavily in new equipment, retrained workers, and rebuilt supply chains for critical materials. Restarting production of the powerful NK-3202 engines was a major milestone. The rollout of the first new Tu-160M in years marks a significant industrial achievement. Yet, production remains slow and vulnerable to supply chain disruptions and labor shortages. Despite these hurdles, Russia is gradually expanding its Tu-160 fleet, ensuring the bomber's continued role in its arsenal. This industrial revival is as much about strategic independence as it is about building aircraft. The Tu-160M program faces a major obstacle: Western sanctions targeting Russia's access to advanced technology. Modern bombers rely on global supply chains for microelectronics and specialized materials, now largely out of reach. Russia's push for domestic alternatives is slow and costly, often resulting in lower performance or delays. Engineers must improvise, accept inferior parts, or seek components through illicit means, all of which hamper progress. The sanctions expose Russia's dependence on Western tech, forcing a painful drive for self-sufficiency. The effectiveness of these measures is shaping the future of Russia's military power. The Tu-160M struggles are a case study in how economic pressure can impact the battlefield. In today's world, technological access is as decisive as military might. Sanctions and production woes ripple across Russia's entire military-industrial complex. If new advanced aircraft can't be built quickly, commanders must conserve existing assets, changing how and when they're used. This strategic dilemma forces Russia to balance immediate battlefield needs with long-term military strength. Overusing rare systems like the Tu-160 risks irreplaceable losses. Holding back could mean losing ground in the current war. These pressures shape mission choices, risk tolerance, and the overall tempo of the conflict. The struggle to overcome sanctions is a long-term battle for Russia's military relevance. The Tu-160's story is a microcosm of these broader challenges, where wars are fought in factories as much as on the front lines. The outcome will define Russia's future as a global military power. As Russia continues to modernize its legendary Tu-160M, it is also pushing forward with the development of a truly next-generation strategic bomber, the PAK-DA. This ambitious project represents a major leap in Russian military aviation, aiming to redefine the country's long-range strike capabilities for decades to come. Unlike the high-speed supersonic White Swan, the PAK-DA is designed as a stealthy subsonic flying wing, Much like the US B-2 Spirit and the upcoming B-21 Raider, this radical new design prioritizes invisibility and survivability over raw speed, marking a significant shift in Russian bomber philosophy. This shift reflects a new era of military thinking. With the proliferation of advanced air defense systems and powerful radar networks, stealth and long-range endurance have become far more important than outright speed. The PAKDA is being tailored to penetrate heavily defended airspace and remain undetected for as long as possible. To achieve this, the PAKDA will incorporate cutting-edge composite materials, radar-evading shapes, and advanced coatings. It's also expected to feature artificial intelligence for mission support, enhancing both its survivability and effectiveness in complex combat environments. The bomber is expected to carry a formidable arsenal including hypersonic weapons and state-of-the-art electronic warfare systems. This will make it highly adaptable, capable of striking a wide range of targets and countering sophisticated enemy defenses. Developing such an advanced bomber under the weight of international sanctions is a monumental challenge. It demands innovation across every field, from propulsion and avionics to stealth technology and weapons integration, pushing Russian engineers to the very edge of what's possible. The PAK-DA stands as both a symbol of Russia's strategic ambition and a true test of its industrial resilience. Its progress will be closely watched by military analysts around the world. Ultimately, the future of the PAK-DA will reveal whether Russia can remain at the forefront of global military aviation, or if the challenges it faces will prove insurmountable. The Tu-160's combat use is more than a tactical move. It's a window into Russia's strategy and constraints. On one hand, it's a show of force. Russia can still field its most advanced bombers despite war and sanctions. On the other, the rarity of these missions hints at resource management and possible strain. Every Tu-160 flight is a calculated decision, balancing the need to project power with the imperative to conserve it. The pace of Tu-160M modernization and future deployments will reveal the true impact of sanctions and industrial challenges. The White Swan's return is a symbol of both Russia's resilience and its vulnerabilities. The conflict in Ukraine is forcing rapid adaptation, on the battlefield and in the factory. For now, the Tu-160's flight is a stark reminder of the enduring, dangerous nature of this war.